Alright lads, I want to big up to Dell Blue Collar Sports TV because he's the guy who made me aware of this. I was already on this guy's box rec the other day and just there wasn't anything on it. I check it today after Dell made his video and I see it there in black and white on box rec. One shot himself, Christopher Lovejoy. He's got a fight lined up Friday, January 29th against Bermane Stiverne. Lads, Lovejoy, we would have seen him out on October 30th or October 31st against Dave Allen. Obviously, there was a promotional issue. No one even knew who he was because he was this guy who was 19-0, built up this padded record. And I doubt the validity of a good few of them fights, by the way. If you actually go and delve into his box rec, check some of the weights, look at the pictures of the opponents he's been fighting. And what I mean by that is look at Christopher Lovejoy's box rec picture and go onto his box rec and look at a guy called Michael Smith. You tell me they're not the same person. I doubt the validity of his record, and because of that, it made this fight funny. Just funny, just to see what he was like. There's no footage of this guy fighting. There's some training clips of him where Buddy McGurk is trying to get him to throw right hands, and he can't. He can't throw a straight right hand. Started boxing in his early 30s, like 32 or something. He went no amateur fights, went straight into Mexico and started fighting journeyman. I mean, he's got one of the most padded records, and 19-0. I doubt the validity of a good few of them fights. I doubt the validity of a couple of them. So this is a guy who was meant to fight Dave Allen. Obviously, he got pulled at the last minute because of promotional issues with Don King. No one even knew he was promoted by Don King. I did wonder how he was able to get the 15th WBC or WBA ranking. This guy was ranked 15th by WBA. He's ranked, I know BoxRec's algorithms are a bit odd, but he's something like 400 and something in the world on BoxRec, and he's ranked 15 by WBC. He may still be ranked 15 by WBC or WBA. It's crazy. So he's going to be going in there against Bermane Stiverne. This is how bad Christopher Lovejoy on paper his record is, and this is according to people. I remember Mark told me, I think it was Mark Unrivaled, said that he was in camp with Tyson Fury. He was told this story. He was in camp with Tyson Fury. He wanted to spar Fury. He lasted only a couple of rounds and he was thrown out of the ring. Alright, so there's not good stories about this guy. At this stage, we've got a 42-year-old Bermane Stiverne who is limited to fighting twice a year, grossly out of shape, grossly overweight, hasn't won a fight in 5 years. I think his last win was against Derek Rossi, and that was disputed. And since then, his last meaningful fight was nearly 7 years ago in 2014 against Chris Arreola. Stiverne was a decent amateur. He was a decent heavyweight. He wasn't anything special. I mean, if you took prime Bermane Stiverne and put him in there with like the guys today, like obviously he lost to Wilder, but talk about like prime Stiverne, it'd be probably 2012 to 2014. If you took that Bermane Stiverne, put him in there against guys today, he wouldn't be in the top 10, I don't think. Personally, I wouldn't say he'd get to the top 10. Because Stiverne was a counter puncher, but he was a plotter. Like, he could not close the ring down at all. He'd slow feet. His hand speed is not terrible, but at 42, and his last fight was against Joe Joyce. He weighed in the 270s. I can't imagine he's going to, have a new lease of life and, come in rejuvenated and in shape. And he looked awful against Joe Joyce. He really did. Never mind the shape he was in. He looked awful, period. Slow, reflexes gone, punch resistance gone. But you'd still imagine that if Bermane Stiverne, because Bermane Stiverne was really, he had a go in the first round, was able to tag Joe Joyce a bit. You got the impression if that Stiverne actually turned up, you'd give him a good chance against Christopher Lovejoy. That's how poor Lovejoy is. This is Don King's first official card in 5 years. He hasn't put on, this is a Don King card, he hasn't put on an actual card. Go on BoxRec, I think it's 5 years since he put on his last show. That wasn't televised, because that was when Stiverne fought Derek Rossi, and we heard he was dropped in that fight, but we heard it was a slip. And then the actual footage emerged of that fight, of the first round knockdown, and it was a legit knockdown. Derek Rossi landed a shot, Bermane Stiverne went down. That's the last Don King card I think that was officially put on. I mean, he's had some fighters fight on PBC cards and stuff like that, shared cards, but I think this is the first official Don King card he's put on in years. I think Manuel Char's on this card, Trevor Bryan's on the card, Shumanov's on this card. I watched this fight. I done a video about Allen versus Lovejoy, and I called it Car Crash TV. This guy's a chancer, but there's something eerily funny about him. You know, eerily amusing that the fact that this guy can get a padded record like this and just get these rankings and get these fights. It's strange. But I want to see what he's like, because judging by what people have said and judging by some of the footage of him training, he doesn't look that particularly good. So I just want to see how he looks in there. Bermane Stiverne will be by far and away the best opponent he's ever faced even now. It'd be only the second opponent he's fought with a winning record. I think only in like his third or fourth pro fight, allegedly, the guy had a winning record. So yeah, this is more a comedy thing, I think. You know, as we would say, boxing's not funny. I mean, like, we all had a good laugh about the whole Lovejoy Allen situation. I mean, that was funny. Talking about that was funny. And believe you me, the post-fight review would have been funny if that fight had happened. From all of us lads, all the guys in the YouTube community, we would have all had a good laugh about that. So yeah, I hope this is televised. I want to see this fight. I'll watch it. This is on the day before Kovalev versus Malikuziak. So we got a weekend of boxing. Whoever said January's a dull month? Lads, I'm going to leave it here. As I said. Call it quits. Hope you all enjoyed it. Smash the like if you did. Hope you did enjoy it, actually, lads. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What you think of Christopher Lovejoy fighting Bermane Stiverne. I kind of left the ending there a bit kind of all over the place. I really lost track of thought. Apologies about that. Lads, subscribe if you haven't already. Hashtag GMAS rocks, all that good stuff. I'll talk to you in a wee bit. Peace.